Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tia here. Basically this video is going to be about me complaining about Leo men. But anyways, recently I posted a video on TikTok of the guy that I was previously talking to saying that I hate Leos, blah blah blah, right? And it magically got 45,000 views overnight. And I was like, dang, like I didn't know women hate Leos as much, right? And of course, we're not talking about the female Leos, okay? I'm talking about male Leos. So pretty much under that video, it was a whole bunch of women saying like, oh yeah, Leo men did me the worst. They are the worst type of men. They're like pathological liars. They're sociopaths and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, interesting. Didn't know y'all felt like this, right? And of course you have like them complaining about the other signs too, but this video is specifically about Leos. So basically the first, like, I don't know, I probably talked to way more Leos in the past and I just never paid attention to it until now. And I know signs are like some made up construct and blah blah blah. They have no correlation to how people actually act. But anyways, we're gonna pretend for the sake of this video. So basically my ex boyfriend that I didn't really date, kind of did date on and off for 3 4 whatever, how many years you want to put it. Um i i don't even know. I guess he probably is the worst man I have ever met in my life, right? And he is a Leo. And his birthday, I think it was like August 10th, I'm gonna say, because I feel like I'm pretty good at remembering people's birthdays. But his is August 10th, so he's an August Leo. And I feel like that relationship, it was always toxic. Now that I'm looking back, like, you know, sometimes you have like the honeymoon phase, and then like after 3 months people start acting differently, and then it's this, right? But I feel like he was consistently toxic the whole way through. But basically the relationship that I had with him, I started off as friends and then we were kind of dating, and then it just got like toxic, and then it got like terribly toxic to the point where it affected my mental health, and it was emotional abuse, and it was just like it was like insane. I was a mess for like those 3 years pretty much. And I did play some kind of part in the toxicness, but not as much as he was doing to me, right? I feel like I was mostly trying to like stand up for myself and blah blah blah. And then of course when I start yelling at him, then he's gonna make it a whole thing, right? Because I don't know, like it was just too much arguments, and then there was a lot of manipulation and everything, right? um but I think the worst moment was closer to the end. I feel like we weren't even dating at that point. It was just like what are we for real? Like what are we actually doing, right? And it got to the point where he literally took me to this lake, and that used to be like the place that we used to chill. We would sit in the car and talk or eat food or whatever, right? So we went there, and they had like the railing, like you know how like a dock has like a railing or whatever, right? So we were like looking over the railings like at the ducks or whatever, and then he basically starts interrogating me, right? He's pretty much like, oh, like I know you're cheating on me, like I know you're talking to another guy, like who is it? Like I see you following guys on Instagram, like what are you doing? And I'm just there like what are you talking about, bro? Like what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, I see it all the time, like I just have a feeling you're doing some sneaky shit, like you might as well just admit it right now. And I'm just like, I'm just like utterly confused. And I try to like reassure him, and I'm like, bro, I'm not talking to anybody. I don't cheat. Like what are you talking about? And he pretty much repeated that process for like, I'm gonna say like 20 minutes, just like interrogating me, trying to get me to like admit something that I didn't actually do. And I kept trying to reassure him, and I was like, bro, I would never do that. Like who is it? Like who are you accusing me of talking to? Who are you claiming that that's in my DMs and that I'm messaging them, blah blah blah, right? He was just like pulling shit out of his ass at that point, right? And then later, I think it's like a month later, I reached out to this girl because I'm the type of person where it's like if something is sus, I'm going to message the girl and be like, oh, is my man texting you? And I know some people might think that's embarrassing, or if I gotta do all that, I might as well leave him or whatever. But me, I like getting answers You know, like you can try and ghost me, you can try and leave me, you can do whatever, right? But I'ma still find the actual answer and like what happened or whatever. So I messaged the girl and I was like, oh hey, like, you know, like, is my man, is he trying to talk to you? Like, did he ever come to you? Like, blah, 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 because he keeps saying he's not interested, blah, blah, blah. And then she basically sent me screenshots and she was like, yeah, he's been in my DMs. He's been trying to hook up with me, blah, 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 right? And I was like, oh, interesting. So I feel like that for me was the final straw because she was like a plus size girl and he would always tell me that he's not attracted to that and he likes girls that are built like me, blah blah blah, right? And he said like his ex was skinny like me, blah blah blah, right? So to find out that he's like DMing like a whole ass girl who looks nothing like me and he said he didn't like her like that, you know? So it's like that repeatedly would happen throughout our relationship too. Like it happened with like multiple girls even before that. And I don't know why I stayed. I feel like I wasn't like like mentally I was checked out when that would keep happening, and I was like, oh no, it's gonna get better, blah blah blah. But I feel like deep down I was just like over it or whatever. But it's like I was doing me, but I wasn't even like cheating or I wasn't talking to other guys or whatever. I was at that point I was just focused on myself for like the last like 6 months of it, right? But he thought that I was talking to somebody else because that's what he was doing behind my back, okay? So after that, I confronted him with it, and he was like, "Yeah, like I was doing that shit all along, like blah blah blah." Like he basically like admitted to it, like that he was like cheating or whatever, and he did like I don't know, like there's just like so much emotional trauma. Okay, and I feel like I am fully healed now from all that, but it sucks when you have to go through the process again in a different way, right? So basically, fast forward to now, the second Leo that I have talked to, this guy, like I'm gonna do a whole separate story time on this guy. And I think I already posted it like a couple videos down, but that's like that's the TikTok version. I didn't post like an actual video about it yet. But pretty much this guy I talked to, totally opposite of my ex, right? You know, he seemed like somewhat like perfect, too good to be true. And I met him in beginning of November 2024, right? And it lasted until January 3rd of 2025. So it was literally exactly 3 months. And you know how they say that men be showing their true colors after 3 months, right? So pretty much I do catch feelings fast, but with this recent guy, I was like, oh, you know, he's like perfect. Like, this is all I could ever ask for. Like, this is crazy. But I feel like deep down, I had a gut feeling. And I was like, this is too perfect, like too good to be true. There has to be something wrong with him. Like it's gonna come up eventually. Like there has to be something wrong with it, right? And then we get to the end of 3 months and like the end of the honeymoon stage, even though like it wasn't even really honeymoon stage because he didn't really do shit for me for real. But like it gets to the point where he starts acting different and a bunch of things happen and it, like next thing I know he's crying in my face but he's lying about it. And I feel like that is kind of like sociopathic tendencies. Like how are you crying at me and being like, oh no, like blah 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 blah, and then the next day you're like, actually when I was crying that wasn't really for real. I was acting, you know. Psychopath. um and then he would tell me, he's like, I don't know why I lie, I just do this sometimes, like I just want to please people and blah blah blah. But I'm like, I don't know. So that ending kind of had me so confused. Like he tried to ghost me to the point where I had to drive up to his house and get the answers. It was a mess. Okay, I was looking crazy in front of the people walking on his street or whatever. It was like probably my most embarrassing moment. Not even that, because I did some stuff online, but like I feel like in real life, in person, that was my most embarrassing moment in person, where I'm literally like standing at a guy's house and I'm like, answer the door, like I need my what's it called, I don't know, but I needed like closure, okay? Like I just hate, like I've never been ghosted before, right? And I know people talk about it and they're like, "Oh, this is a normal thing. This is what a lot of women do to men when the men start acting weird, blah blah blah," but it's never happened to me. So I was like, "No, no way. Like no way you can be this perfect and then ghost me." You know, like I'm gonna need some answers. Even though I should have just left it as it was, because I don't know, guys be bitches these days. Like I don't know, overall I'm tired, okay? But for some reason, like both of their birthdays were in August, right? um and like I said, it has no correlation to how they be acting or whatever, but now I realize that he did act like similar to my ex, right? Like my ex was basically toxic. So anyone could probably see that from a mile away, right? But this guy, he was just like hiding it, you know, like same kind of characteristics, but it was just disguised between like behind the perfect look of it, you know. So it's like really interesting how guys can hide their true personality for months, you know, or they can lie for months, keep secrets for months, and then pop out and be like, "Oh yeah, like that was a lie. I was cheating on you." I'm like, you know, like how, I don't get how someone is capable of doing that. Because me personally, like I can't keep secrets. If I do something terrible, like I'm gonna tell on myself. That's just how I'm built. You know, like I can't. Like I'm a good liar, but like I'm not gonna lie in a relationship. Like I'm trying to, like my end goal is marriage, you know, so why am I gonna start some shit off of lies if I'm trying to get married to this person, you know? So it just don't be clicking, right? So in conclusion, I just feel like Leo men are not meant for me, and I know I've only dated two, and I should probably wait till I get to five to like make my decision, but like two is enough. The trauma from those two have messed me up, right? Because I healed from that first one, and then even though the second one was only like 3 months, for some reason that 3 months feels worse than those 3 years with the first one. Is really weird how things work out and how the brain takes trauma and handles stuff differently. But yeah, that was it for this video. No more Leo men for me. I still gotta do multiple story times about other men that I haven't yet. I don't know, I'm trying to pump out more videos, but yeah, that was it. Bye.